If you want to be seen as powerful, respected, and confident, your words have to match your ambition. You have to stop speaking to be liked and instead speak to lead.
Welcome to Real Talk English. Today, we are diving into the language of the most successful people in the world.
The mindset shift that the people who are successful have is I am a leader, even if they aren't yet.
We're going to unlock how they speak so you can sound more confident and really command respect. So, have you ever noticed how some people just walk into a room and everyone listens? Well, it's not magic, I promise you. It's a very specific way of communicating. And today, we're going to break down their techniques, word by word, so you can start using them yourself. Let's get into it. So here's the plan. We're going to cover 5 powerful skills from leadership expert Natalie Dawson. We'll talk about everything from speaking to lead to becoming a master at asking questions. And of course, we'll learn some awesome vocabulary that will make you sound way more professional. Okay, first up, skill number 1. This is a big one. It's a total mindset shift. It's about changing your goal from trying to get people to like you to getting people to follow you. It's all about speaking to lead. Natalie Dawson really nails it with this distinction she makes. On one hand, you've got people who just exude confidence. They naturally come across as leaders. And on the other hand, you have people who, honestly, without even realizing it, erode their own credibility just by the words they choose. Let's break down these 2 phrases because they're super powerful. To exude confidence, it's like confidence is just pouring out of you. Everyone around you can feel it. But the opposite, to erode credibility, that's like water slowly wearing away a rock. It's this gradual loss of trust you're causing with your own words. So, how do you stop doing that? How do you stop eroding your credibility? The fix is actually pretty simple. You have to drop those weak, uncertain phrases. Just look at the difference here. Instead of saying, I think we should try this, you say, the best path forward is. That one little change immediately makes you sound more decisive, more confident. Okay, let's build on that with our second skill. This one is all about relying on logic, not emotion, especially when things get tough. This quote is just a golden rule for leaders. You know the saying, high emotion, low intelligence. When you let your feelings override your message, you lose control. The most effective communicators get this. They stay calm and they focus on the facts. So, what does that word override actually mean? Well, it's when one thing uses its power to just cancel something else out. So in this case, it's when your emotions get so big that they become more important than your words, basically silencing what you really wanted to say. Natalie gives this fantastic analogy for this. She asks, are you a toothpick or a blade of grass? Think about it. A toothpick is stiff and brittle. You put a little pressure on it and snap, it breaks. But a blade of grass? It's flexible, it bends with the pressure, and then it bounces right back. The goal here is to be flexible, not fragile. All right, moving on to skill number 3. This is the secret weapon for getting people to actually stop and listen to you, instead of, interrupting or just tuning you out. This idea is such a game changer. It's not about how much you talk, it's about the weight of your words. When you speak with weight, it means that when you do choose to say something, it lands with impact. It actually changes the conversation. So speaking with weight is all about being influential. Now, leaders are often dealing with a plethora of problems. Plethora is just a great word for a huge, almost overwhelming amount of something. And when you're facing a plethora of problems, you can't afford to waste a single word. So how do you do it? How do you speak with weight? Well, it actually starts before you even open your mouth. You have to know your goal. Just by asking yourself, why am I here? You get really clear on your purpose. And that clarity, that is the foundation of authority. Okay, let's keep going. A lot of people think that leaders are supposed to have all the answers. But skill number 4 shows us it's actually way more powerful to ask the right questions. Your success, especially when you're trying to solve a tricky problem, it's not about knowing everything. It's about being strategic enough to ask the kinds of questions that get you the information you need to find the best possible solution. The power is all in the specifics. General questions will always get you general answers. But look at what happens when you shift from something vague like, what do you think, to a really targeted question like, what data supports this? Wow. Now you're not just asking for an opinion, you're demanding evidence, and you're steering the conversation toward a real solution. And that brings us to our final skill. And this is one that so many people get wrong, and they don't even know it. They just talk too much. This might feel a little counterintuitive, but listen, over-explaining doesn't make you sound clearer. It makes you look less confident. When you just keep talking and repeating yourself, you're sending a signal that you're nervous, that you're not even sure about your own message. So that brings us to our last two key terms. You have over-explaining, which is just giving way too much detail nobody asked for. The powerful alternative to that is being deliberate. When you're deliberate, your communication is intentional, it's precise, every single word you use has a purpose. All right, we've covered 5 incredibly powerful skills. Now, let's do a quick review to lock all this in and get you ready to go out and actually use it. So just think about this journey we've been on. We learned to exude confidence instead of eroding our credibility. We decided we won't let emotion override our logic because we want to speak with weight. And to do that, we have to be deliberate and stop over-explaining, even when we're facing a plethora of challenges. These are your new tools. You've done some fantastic work today. Now that you've got these key ideas and all this new vocabulary, I really recommend you go watch Natalie Dawson's original talk. The link is right down below. It is the perfect way to test your new skills and hear all these concepts used in a real conversation. So I've got one last question for you. If you made the decision to stop trying to be liked and started trying to be respected, what's the very first thing you would change about how you speak? Let me know down in the comments. And if this explainer helped you out, please give it a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.